the world dealing with this unprecedented crisis, we've been working hard here at OpenVault, measuring and analyzing the impacts to operators on recent broadband usage behavior. Note that the data that we're going to share here today is updated through March 25th, 2020. In summary, we're seeing unprecedented growth in internet usage hitting our broadband network customers. Business hour weekday usage in particular is showing the most growth versus January at greater than 50%. Peak hour usage in particular is also growing at over 20%. There is an upstream flattening of the curve, if you will, in that growth during the day for upstream is at greater than 75%. And I'll share what that means in a minute. Lastly, it's clear that there's a major need for our operator customers to perform what we're calling distance diagnostics. And we will also address that as we go through the presentation. First, in terms of unprecedented growth, wanted to share this chart, which shows end of year usage per household, gigabytes per month since 2012. We've been operating at roughly 25 to 30% growth year over year, every single year, as you can see in the chart, up to the end of 2019, where we reported 344 gigabytes per household. Just to share with you where we are based on what's going on today, the current run rate for usage per day puts the average household at 460 gigabytes. And that's an increase already of well over 30% just since the end of 2019. In addition, as mentioned, we're seeing most of the growth coming during the daytime, which is not a surprise with work from home, school from home going on all over the place. Massive growth is occurring between the hours of 9 and 5, and it's actually exceeded 50% growth since January. The reason we look at January as a baseline is that January and March have traditionally had very similar usage patterns. So looking at January is a good picture of just how much growth we're seeing so far based on the impacts of the virus. If you look at this chart in more detail, you can see that starting in January, in the first week of March, actually those curves pretty much overlap. So there wasn't much difference in usage throughout the day when you look at the first week of March versus January. But as we progress through the month of March, you see that the third week of March, we really took off in terms of usage. And that has continued to grow really across the board, not just during the hours of 9 to 5, but as you can see, even peak hours are growing. And that's because clearly more and more people now are working from home. A lot of students are back to school doing online courses, many of them using applications like Zoom. And so there's a lot of video going on in the home between the hours of 9 and 5, driving a lot of this growth. When we look at upstream specifically, which is a major issue for operators given the limited capacity on the upstream side, you see that upstream usage has grown over 75% since January. And most of that growth, again, as you can see in the chart, is happening between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So this is really resulting in the curve, as you can see, flattening in the sense that peak hours really have become now from 10 or 11 a.m. in the morning all the way to the evening hours with pretty consistent usage. Again, this is a major issue for operators because they were already constrained from a capacity perspective on the upstream side. So this is an area that operators really need to keep an eye on as this trend continues. Let's shift gears to talk about now the need for distance diagnostics. So with the growing importance of the internet and keeping the quality of service at a high level, it's imperative that operators can service their customers when they call in for issues like slow internet or poor quality of experience. There's clearly a desire for remote resolution these days. Some of the common causes of these issues are things like node congestion. There simply might not be enough bandwidth going into the home. Oftentimes, issues are more around Wi-Fi and device issues that are causing these problems. So it's really important that operators can diagnose these issues remotely. And we have a suite of solutions that help them do that. And we're calling this suite Distance Diagnostics and Remote Care. And one of the elements and products that we're bringing to the table is what we call Wi-Fi Insider. That tool is designed to diagnose Wi-Fi issues and without having to send a tech out to the home. Those issues could be poor signal strength, could be simply the device needs to change the band, could be that there are more devices than the bandwidth can handle going into the home. So that's a product that is provided to care organizations to remotely diagnose Wi-Fi issues. Secondly, our operations and analytics module helps identify bandwidth requirements based on subscriber usage volumes. Many subscribers are using more service and consuming more data than their bandwidth plan really allows. Or in other words, to get better service based on their usage behavior, they should have higher, faster bandwidth speeds. So it's helping to determine if the subscriber also is maximizing what they're provisioned for. And that's really important in making sure that operators can help to right size the subscriber, because that could actually be the issue and why subscribers might be having slow internet speed issues. Lastly, we have a policy enforcement, which allows us to look at areas of node congestion. And when we see congestion, we can identify in real time if certain subscribers are abusing the service and causing that congestion. If that's the case, the operator has the ability using this tool to enforce bandwidth management policies on abusive subscribers in order to ease congestion, ultimately opening up the pipe for all the other subscribers on that particular node and providing better service to more subscribers. All of these solutions are designed to avoid the need to roll trucks and send field techs out into the field, into customers' homes, which obviously is a priority both for operators and for subscribers. If you'd like more information on this, please contact sales@openvault.com. We will be continuing to update this data and the results of the impacts of COVID-19 as we move forward. Thank you.